Hello and welcome to BikeRide.com Reviews. My name's Scott and we're gonna have some fun today. You can tell from the look on my face, right? And no, I didn't steal my little brother's bike, even though I've been asked that exact question while testing this bike. This is the JackRabbit e-bike and it's truly unique. If you saw any full-grown adult riding it down the street, you'd probably think that they'd taken a child's bike for a joyride. But as they ride away at up to 20 miles an hour without a single pedal stroke in sight, it might make you start to wonder, is it even a bike at all? Shaped like a BMX and rolling on 20-inch wheels, the JackRabbit has one of the shortest wheelbases we've ever seen, coming in at only 48 inches long. It doesn't take much to notice that in between the wheels there's something missing on this bike. It has no pedals, only a set of foot pegs to plant your feet. It has a thumb throttle hooked up to a 300-watt motor in the back. It's kind of akin to a scooter bike hybrid, able to lift it with one hand and boasting a 240-pound rider limit. The JackRabbit e-bike is billed by the creator as a super portable micro e-bike. They claim from their research that 64% of trips are less than 5 miles, and the JackRabbit e-bike is intended to make those short urban commutes sweat-free, allowing a lot of users to rid themselves of a car or transit and get around quickly. This is a big claim for such a small bike, so let's put the JackRabbit to the test and find out once and for all if size really does matter. Let's dive right in with the pros and cons of this bike. Pro number 1, fun factor. The bike is really just plain fun. It's light and maneuverable and incredibly zippy for the size of motor that it has on the back. It has this sort of fun and easy to maneuver ability that reminds you of a go-kart. It makes you just want to hop on, take it for another ride, and really there's a special quality to it that is hard to put into words other than the fact that it's just fun to ride. It brings a smile to the face of basically anyone that hops on it, and although it may seem like a lazy pro, it's a true genuine quality about this bike that it's just fun and nice to ride. Portability. The bike is very portable and easy to maneuver around. You can simply lift it with one hand, and it's simple to throw into the back of a car or store in a closet. In general, it's quite easy to move this bike around. It also has the ability to fold the handlebars. This allows you to make the streamlined bike into about 7 inches in total width, and it can be quite easy for moving it around through urban places. The portability of this bike is quite impressive. Its low weight makes it very simple to move around, and it can go a lot of places that other e-bikes would not go. You can take it up and down flights of stairs, you could easily fit it into an elevator or an apartment building, you could even climb a tree with it, although I definitely don't recommend it. The 300-watt motor is surprisingly zippy and capable of tackling hills that you wouldn't think possible, albeit at a very slow speed. We're talking maybe 3 to 4 miles an hour. Now that being said, doing repetitive hills is going to drain the battery very quickly. On a test ride with a few mild to moderate hills, we only got about 6 miles of battery life compared to the claimed 10. But on relatively flat ground, zipping around town, the bike makes short work of commutes and could easily speed you to the local lunch spot without a sweat, pun intended. Our test model had a slight wiggle at the stem that we could not eliminate despite tightening and playing with it. It ended up being about a 1/16 quarter turn, and this did not affect the overall use of the bike and our operation, but it did make it a little bit worrisome when you're letting it loose downhill, when you can feel your handlebars having a little bit of turn from this front connection point. The JackRabbit is a tight fit. People with larger shoe sizes will need to be careful about their foot placement on the pegs, as placing your foot too far forward could cause it to come in contact with the front tire. As an individual with size 13 feet, I found I had to make sure that my feet were firmly positioned with the ball of my foot over the foot peg to make sure that that front tire had enough clearance and I didn't have any unwanted contact with my shoes. Battery indicator beware. The 3 light battery indicator does not offer a lot of detail, and the lower red light actually indicates that the battery is completely dead, not that you have 20 to 30% left. So you could easily be left stranded if you don't take enough time to take a look at your battery or if you misinterpret that bottom red LED. The lack of detail on the battery indicator means that if you didn't shell out for a second battery, you could easily be left stranded and walking home. These are items that prospective consumers should note about the bike. However, due to the fact that they are purposeful design choices based on the bike type, category, and use, they're not rated as cons against the bike. The JackRabbit features only a single mechanical disc brake, and it's located at the back wheel. Now, while this may seem like a strange choice at first, when you're used to seeing two brakes, it's a very smart design choice when you think about the fact that we're only dealing with a 48-inch wheelbase here, and that makes the use of a front brake very dangerous. If you were to have a front brake on this unit and accidentally pull it, you could easily send yourself over the handlebars. Because of this, I think that the single rear brake is a smart design choice. It's sufficient and able to control the bike when you're coming downhill or using it for its intended purpose. The bike features no drivetrain. This is a plus because it means less maintenance and no chain and additional components to worry about, but it can be a downside because it means that if you run out of battery, you're going to be walking or kicking that bike along, assuming that you didn't shell out for a second replacement battery. The JackRabbit is a folding e-bike, but this might not be the same type of folding as you would expect from other e-bikes that are currently on the market. Rather than folding at the frame and separating in half, the JackRabbit e-bike folds at the headset. It allows you to fold in two different ways. The first way is you can remove the bars from the headset completely and clip them on to the front fork. This allows you to streamline the bike. The foot pegs also flip up, further streamlining it to approximately 7 inches wide. The second way that this folding can come into play is the headset can easily be folded sideways so that it's parallel with the bike. This can allow you to enter into urban areas with a much more streamlined package, making it simple to walk into an apartment building or through a crowded space without the handlebars poking people. So this is a great design choice, but something that may leave users surprised when they find that it's not similar to other folding options on the market. So what does it do best? Well, as the name suggests, micro-commuter, the bike is meant for short urban distances. The founder came up with the idea watching university students try to get to class on campus and having to travel long distances. And thus the JackRabbit was born. Its small size and weight make it very easy to fit in different places. The back of the car, an elevator, an apartment building, or a crowded office building, for example. And it's easy to use. Without having any pedals, your commute is truly sweat-free. And the battery itself is also very small and convenient, meaning you could easily fit one in your backpack to take with you on longer trips. But functionality aside, it's also just a lot of fun. The thing has a toy-like quality that even as an adult we can all enjoy. So who should buy this bike? The JackRabbit e-bike is well suited for urban commuters who may have a mixed commute or who find themselves short on space. It would be great for an individual who lived in an apartment building or worked in an office building and had to store the bike inside of those small confines. It could easily go upstairs or inside of an elevator and could be used by an individual who had a commute that also involved a bus or a subway. In general, there's lots of space for this in the short commute range. If you have a commute that's less than 5 miles that requires some kind of short, small space for it to fit into, or involves a very crowded urban area that you'd like a small package but don't want something like a scooter or electric skateboard, the JackRabbit e-bike might fill that category very nicely for you. Reasons to avoid the JackRabbit e-bike. The JackRabbit e-bike has a specific use, and it is limited. Users that have longer commutes or a lot of hills may find themselves wanting with 300-watt motor and limited battery range, unless you opt for a second battery. You'll also find that the bike leaves you little option for any kind of exercise, so you'll be completely electrically powered, whether you're using it for recreational riding or utility riding. So in general, if you have any kind of a longer commute or you don't have a short urban commute with mixed spaces, you may find a different e-bike will suit your needs better. Featuring an aluminum frame, the JackRabbit resembles a BMX with some aggressive mountain bike styling from the tread on the tires. It's lightweight, coming in at just 24 pounds. Despite this, the frame feels solid when seated and has a claimed maximum rider weight of up to 240 pounds. The ride is unlike any other bike and takes some time getting used to. With a very short 48-inch wheelbase, the bike is very fast to turn and can feel unstable until you find your center of gravity. The frame claims to fit riders 4'10" to 6'2", and as a 6-foot individual, I could ride the bike with no problem. The 300-watt motor was surprisingly zippy, a good reminder of what these small motors are capable of when paired with a light bike. That being said, the bike is only capable of so much torque, with a 300-watt motor and a small battery. The cockpit and controller are minimal. A single brake lever, bell, and 3 light LED battery level indicator are all that occupy the handlebars. The bike is turned on and off with a simple push button located on the controller, and the throttle is controlled by a thumb-style switch throttle. The motor is powered by a lithium-ion 36-volt, 4.2 amp-hour or 151 watt-hour battery. It's small and lightweight, so much so that it's FAA certified for air travel. The battery is small enough to fit in a backpack or bag easily, so you could bring one with you to extend the range. The bike comes with a standard 71-watt, 10 to 240-volt US plug with a 1.7 amp 41-volt output. The battery can be fully removed for charging, or can be charged on the bike. Key access and charger input are located under the top tube of the bike. The battery charges quickly in 3 hours. It makes it possible to charge at your destination before your return journey. A good note is this bike is IPX4 resistant to rain and splashes, so you can travel in light rain. The JackRabbit features a single rear mechanical disc brake with a 180mm rotor. The tire widths vary front to back, with a 2.5-inch all-terrain rear tire and a less aggressive 1.95-inch all-terrain tire in the front. The small tires offer a good grip and can maneuver around rocks and obstacles. The bike performance is reasonable off the pavement, and you can definitely add some alternative routes to your commute. It offers a playfulness that makes you want to see where it can go. The bike features reflectors on the front and rear wheels, as well as a rear-facing reflector on the seat post and a front-facing reflector on the handlebar post. The bike has BMX-style grips that are comfortable and suit the bike. The bike features foldable pegs with a rubber grip. They offer a fine platform. The seat on the JackRabbit is comfortable and the seat post is adjustable. The JackRabbit offers a range of accessories for the bike, including a rear basket, travel bag, cargo box, front and rear fender, an LED front and rear light, an extra battery, cup holder, fast charger, a phone holder, and a shoulder carry sling. It's tiny, a ton of fun, and surprisingly functional. The JackRabbit e-bike definitely takes a unique look at urban transportation and opens up the options for a group of individuals that may not have been realized before. Whether that group of individuals looking for the JackRabbit will be micro like the bike itself or turn into the latest transit phenomenon is yet to be seen. But for now, the JackRabbit e-bike appears to do exactly as it claims. As a micro-commuter e-bike, it definitely packs some zip and is a lot of fun to ride around. But beware of the battery because the range falls a little bit shorter than expected. But be prepared to smile as you ride. If you have the right commute, the JackRabbit e-bike could make it significantly shorter. And so I guess we have the answer. It's not the size of the e-bike that matters, it's how you're going to use it. Is this bike for you? Check out the detailed specs at bikeride.com and you can see other user and expert reviews. You can also check out other e-bikes and see them rated to find your perfect match. If you like this video, give us a like and subscribe so we can keep bringing you great e-bike and bike-related content. As always, I'm Scott and this is bikeride.com, and I hope you enjoy the ride.